Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and welcome to another theory video. Now, a few days ago Nintendo released a new trailer for Age of Calamity, and this was mainly focused on the Yiga clan, but towards the end of the trailer we got to see two Yiga clan members bowing down to some sort of mysterious fortune teller figure. And in this video, I'm just going to be theorising on who this might be. Now, from what I think, I mainly think that this fortune teller is one of three people. One, I think that the fortune teller is a Gerudo spy for the Yiga clan. So I think that this was Gerudo, who was part of the Gerudo tribe, but then kind of like strayed away from the Gerudo and went and started working with the Yiga. Two, I think that this is a reincarnation of Girahim. And three, I think this is a younger version of Twin Rover. Now, the one reason why I feel like that the fortune teller is a Gerudo is because I feel like that, mainly because the Gerudo are technically under the loyalty or technically under rule of Ganondorf, if you understand what I mean, because it's known that Gerudo are have a man every 100 years, and the man becomes their king. And I feel like that the Gerudo who defected from the Gerudo tribe had found some old text about Ganondorf, and she learned of what he did in Ocarina of Time, the Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and other variations of him that have appeared throughout the Zelda timeline. And I feel like she started using some of the similar magic to Ganondorf, and then when she heard of the Yiga clan, she started to make her loyalties with them instead of the Gerudo. And yeah, I think that's quite interesting in how if it is true and if it is Gerudo, that would be quite interesting. For Girahim, and why I think it's a reincarnation of Girahim, I think it's because we haven't seen Girahim since Skyward Sword, and I feel like that wouldn't be that much like lore that the Hyrule in Breath of the Wild wouldn't know about him, because if you think about it, if you look at Breath of the Wild, there are references to a lot of bunch of things like Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, the Wind Waker, whatever. But if you look at if Hyrule or the King or whatever had texts of ancient times, I wouldn't believe that they would have texts on Girahim. But Girahim would somehow become resurrected and he would somehow infiltrate Hyrule Castle, and that would be form of some sort of fortune teller person, I don't know. And I feel like that this will be a female version of Girahim, and I think that will be somewhat interesting. And I feel like that in Skyward Sword we were only shown a bit of Girahim's power, but I feel like if the fortune teller is a somewhat female version of Girahim, I would feel like that we would get more of a experience of what kind of power this fortune teller would have, and would have some similar powers to Girahim. And for a young Twin Rover, I think it would be a young Twin Rover, because I think Twin Rover has only been seen in a few games, like the Aqua games and Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I feel like when Twin Rover are apart, they'll be somewhat young, but somewhat old, around in canon or somewhere around, I don't know, I'd say 45 or something. But when they come together, they'll become younger. I'm talking about Kome and Kotake. And yeah, I think that'd be somewhat interesting, and the reason why it might be young Twin Rover is because they want to bring Ganondorf back to life, and just and then they can use him to bring back the horror that Hyrule had suffered back in Ocarina of Time. So the end of the trailer kind of depends on when it takes place in Age of Calamity, because if it takes place before the events, then there might be a possibility that the fortune teller is telling the Age of Calamity members to assassinate Zelda's mother, mainly because of, the Zelda's bloodline has the power of the goddess, and each one has used their powers to seal away Calamity Ganon, or that version of Ganondorf, or whatever. I feel like that the fortune teller would hire the Yuki clan members, or ask 2 of the members to assassinate Zelda's mum, so that Zelda's mum can't be able to tell Zelda about her powers and how to use them, and have the ability to steal away Calamity Ganon again when he comes back. And also, I feel like that it might also take place during the events of Age of Calamity, so about before Calamity Ganon has resurrected, before he took over the Guardians and the Divine Beasts. And I would feel like that if the fortune teller was mainly trying to get Gandalf back, because if you think about it, if the fortune teller wants Gandalf back, then she might have wanted the clan members to destroy the seal, and that's possibly the hand on Gandalf's whole thing. I don't know. But yeah, and I would feel like that she only had Calamity Ganon resurrected, and I think it's because the hand is somewhat of a choosing kind of item seal thing, and it only chooses someone that it believes that can defeat Gandalf once and for all. And I feel like that's why Calamity Ganon was mainly came back, because the Yiga clan members weren't the ones that were worthy, and that's why Link was able to take the hand off the seal and Gandalf came back. And I feel like the fortune teller would go into hiding once Calamity Ganon would come back and start wreaking havoc, and it would be cool to see like how that will play out, because the fortune teller we know very little, and it will be cool to see how where she fits into the game. Now with Age of Calamity being said before Breath of the Wild, I would like to see how she would come into the main timeline of the games, of when this is set, and then with Breath of the Wild 2, because I feel like once, as I said before, once Calamity Ganon is released, the fortune teller will go into hiding. But in Breath of the Wild 2, she could come back, but like a lot older. So she could, if it's like Twin Waver, she could still have her young looks when both Komei and Kotake are combined into one. But when Komei and Kotake are split apart and they're both their regular selves, they would look older and look more like their Ocarina of Time's elves. So I think that would be quite cool. And also, I would feel like if Komei into Kotake or the Gerudo or Girahim or whoever would try and stop Link from reaching to Gandalf, who will be slowly regenerating himself in Hyrule Castle. So yeah, that's been my theory for about the fortune teller. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.